guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my May no spend recap, how I did, and how I'm preparing to do better in June. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Amanda, and on my channel I discuss my personal and financial journeys. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to be talking about a new financial endeavor that I'm going to be embarking on, and moving forward, what are some things that I'm going to be starting to do to better advance my financial journey and get to where I want to get and meet my goals. With that said, let's just jump into my May no spend recap. May was a great month. I was able to do fairly well on my no spend. If you watched my last video, you know that I spent a lot of money on food, and I wanted to make a goal to not spend as much money going forward into May. However, when I made that video and when I calculated all my expenses, it was actually already a week or two into May, and so I was unable to realize how much I had already spent on food that month. I had actually already eaten out about 4 times in the first 2 weeks. So I ended up eating out, I think it was another 4 times. So again, for the month of May, I ate out a total of 8 times. So far for June, which it is June 5th, I think, I haven't paid for food eating out once. So I'm doing a little bit better for June. Hopefully I will be able to stay on track. Now that I'm posting my videos closer to the beginning of the month, I will be able to hold myself a little more accountable as opposed to not calculating the prior month's totals until about a week or two into the following month. So hopefully switching that up a little bit will really help me stay accountable and be more aware of how much money I'm spending. As far as June goes, so far, so good with the not eating out. This is the month I received my discount from Geico, which they are doing kind of a give back for the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And insurance companies are giving back since drivers are not driving as much. Geico gave back 15%, which is super cute. Their whole slogan is save 15% or more when you switch to Geico. And so I literally did just save 15% on my premium, and it's amazing. Thank you, Geico. I super appreciate that. So basically what they did is they just added 15% discount to the entire premium and deducted that from your next month's payment. So my payment would have been $102, but 15% off of my entire premium, which is like a little over $600, brought my total down to $14.72. So my premium for the month of May was only $14.72, which was amazing. So that was a huge chunk of change that I saved, not having to put it towards insurance. So I have a Fingerhut account and I do not use it. I think that their prices are a little too high for my liking, and I just don't find it worth my while to purchase anything through Fingerhut. However, I have had $800 in credit with them for almost a year. And so they sent me so kindly a letter basically stating that my account would be closed if I don't make a purchase in the next, it was like 3 weeks. So I went on multiple times trying to find something that was worth my purchase, and I just really wasn't finding anything. The one thing I wanted was gonna have $24 in shipping, and it was one item. And so that was a little frustrating. I just decided I would wait, and then this month is this was the deadline. I think June at some point was the deadline. So I was like, let me go on one more time. And when I went on, they had an amazing deal going on. It was $20 off your order of $150 plus free shipping. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can make that worth my while. So I went on and decided that I was gonna only try to find things that I would use or that I need, since I'm technically on my no spend. I shouldn't be buying anything from there, but I wanted to take advantage of this deal because I know that I'll just pay it off, and I know that it'll probably keep my account open for another year before I need to make another purchase. So if I have to make one purchase from Fingerhut every year, and I can maybe get a really good deal, then I'm gonna do it. So I found a couple items on clearance that I'll be using for Christmas presents for the boys. They are like little science experiments. I also found a perfume that I love. It's a perfume I used to use a long time ago, and so now I have that. That just brought me a little happiness. And so I had to get the dollar amount over $150. So I had to kind of try to pick and choose items that were gonna get me as close to 150, but were things I would use. So I also bought the hair dryer. So hair dryer, perfume, the 2 science projects, and I bought a video game as well for the boys for Christmas. So I bought all 5 items and it brought my total to 151 and some change. So it was perfectly just over the limit I needed by $1. So I applied the code. Not only did it take the $20 off, but it made my shipping go down. So what my total would have been without the code would have been $201. With the code, it brought my total down to 130 and some change. So that was pretty amazing, and I'm just really happy with that purchase. It was just really important for me to keep that account open because it is $800 that goes towards my total available credit that I don't use. So it is at almost always 0 credit utilization, and it does a really good job at keeping my credit score where I want it to be. Property taxes for the month of June for 2 cars was $125, and so we paid that, but that is pretty normal. We get that in June and in December. One thing I did notice in my last budget was that for April and May, I actually included my pet supplies in my overall budget, and that is not something I had done for January, February, or March. And that is part of the reason why my totals were just a little bit higher. So that's something moving forward I want to itemize. So moving forward with some of my more general bills, like electricity, insurance, car repairs, things that are just stuff that I'm not necessarily recording in my total overall, like what I spent for the month. I want to find a way to start keeping track of that, just because when I look back at what I spent for the month, I want it to be a little bit more of an accurate total. And so I'm gonna find out some ways that I want to start documenting that. The big thing that I want to start doing moving forward is I'm actually going to be participating in sinking funds. I want to start allocating my savings accounts to specific items that I am saving for, and I've come up with a pretty good way to do it so far. I'm not a big fan of the envelope stuffing method just because I don't like having that much cash in my house and on me. I keep my money in the bank, and the reason why is because I use a high interest savings account so that the money that I have in there is earning interest instead of just sitting in my house. And I don't like the idea of my money being prone to a fire, a robbery, or any sort of incident where that cash could be gone and there's no way to get that money back if it went up in flames or somebody came in and robbed me. So that's my personal preference. You may do whatever you want. I think cash envelope and stuffing is great. The envelope stuffing is great. It's not for me. So I will be showing you guys how I'm going to be allocating my sinking funds, what bank I'm using, and what method I am doing to determine how much money goes into each fund each month. So stay tuned for that, because I can't wait to start documenting a little bit more in depth what my financial journey looks like, what I do with my money, and what I value and find important to be saving for. One of the last things was my savings account. I added, I want to say about $600 or $700 into it. And my credit cards, I was able to decrease by about $752.
All right, getting into my totals for some of the expenses this month. For May, my grocery total was not great, not horrible. I came in at $446 and some change, so a little more than last month, but a little less than the month before. I'm okay with that. Cat totals for the month was only $65, which, as you can see from the month before and previous months, is a huge difference. I don't know how I only spent that $65, but I'm very okay with that total. Okay, for my impulse jar, I had 4 total items in there that were over my no spend days. I do allow myself 4 times eating out a month, and this month I did only have about 6 times eating out, but I had 2 special occasions that I ended up spending money for, and I wanted to calculate that as part of something that I shouldn't have spent money on. We have KFC, Sushi King, Chick-fil-A, and a really random 7-Eleven purchase for $16.
You guys, other than that, that's pretty much it. Overall, May was fantastic. I'm really happy with the progress that I made, and I cannot wait to see what June holds, because May was just a little bit better for me overall, and it was great. Yeah. I can't speak. So, okay. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it. It was a very simple, straightforward month, and I just wanted to give you guys the recap. One thing that I really want to start doing in some of my videos is giving you guys a little bit of a takeaway, and so my takeaway for this video is going to be just a little bit revolving around what's going on in the world right now. Currently there is a lot of outrage and a lot of physical and verbal communication online and in the real world about the murder of George Floyd, along with many other Black American people. And I know that personally I am outraged by it, and it has greatly affected me, and it is something that I have been vocal and very strongly opinionated on, that what happened was wrong. And whether it is about race or not, there is a brutality in our police force. And not every cop is bad, but the ones that are killing people and not being held accountable, either through our judicial system or morally in their own hearts feeling as though they didn't do something wrong, is a problem. And I think it is becoming ever more apparent that people are sick and tired of that, and we're not going to stand for it any longer. So with that said, if you are experiencing hate for your beliefs and your feelings on the topic, or any topic of the sort, equality or anything, please know that there is an entire community of people that will support you. And I know I am one of those people, and if you ever need somebody to talk to, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. If you are experiencing somebody who has a different opinion from you and may be argumentative or aggressive on the topic, please don't take that personally. In my opinion, what was wrong, and I'm never going to change my opinion on that. However, you have to have perspective that your reality is not everyone else's reality. And so be mindful that people that have different opinions and stances on the topic, and people that may be doing more or less than what you are doing and what your role is, their role may be different, have perspective that that is their journey and that that is their reality. It may not be yours. So before you cast harsh words or indifference or separate yourself from somebody because of their opinions, take time to just remember that we all come from different walks of life, and we all have different realities that we live in, and what is true for you may not be true for somebody else, and that's okay. What is right, and what is wrong. Be true to yourself, know how you feel on the topics, know how things make you feel, be okay with that. Let other things make other people feel how they feel, because that's their right and that's your right. So at the end of the day, love conquers all, kindness wins, and we will persevere. We will rise up, and things will get better one day. I'm a strong believer in being the change you wish to see in the world, and if you disagree with anything that I just said, please feel free to never watch one of my videos again. You can unsubscribe if you already are subscribed, and you can even dislike this video if you want. You can be my first dislike. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.